So, what do we want to talk about first? Do we want to take the show nice and through till today?
Yeah, might as well. Should we go through NXT and SmackDown?
Yes, you're right. NXT should go first. We can talk about off the top.
That Nia Jax first, it's so much better.
It's so much better, but in all seriousness, did you go through the thought exercise like I did about how you could make that costume ideal? Like, can it be made ideal, or is it just a lost cause?
I think it might just be.
Well, she has to wear something.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, I think what she has now is all right.
Maybe more armor plates?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, she has just been bodying everybody so far.
Yeah, she should just wear just like straight up, like more armor plate, maybe a helmet.
Yeah. Just be a Valkyrie.
Yeah, exactly. She basically is like a Valkyrie. Like, if you had to describe Nia Jax's gimmick to someone who's not a fan, how would you describe it?
Right now, it seems like she's just really strong.
Yeah, and they make her look really strong. That's pretty much it. Is it safe to say she's the female Roman Reigns?
Yeah, I'd say so right now.
Isn't that supposed to be Tamina?
Yeah, but I mean...
Do we have an overabundance of Roman Reigns?
Samoans.
No. We don't have too many Samoans. Don't make that leap. We have an appropriate number of Samoans in professional wrestling.
Too many Rock's cousins.
Yeah, well, maybe not too many, but there's a lot of the Rock's cousins in professional wrestling business right now. But the Rock draws money, so I don't blame Vince for seeking them out.
No, I don't blame him either.
Also, something that Vince has sought out in the past. Jim Ross has gone on comment and on record saying several times over that he was told specifically that when he was the director of talent relations, Vince told him to go and find what he called athletic tens. And I think we can go back through WWE/WWF for the last 20, 30 years, and there hasn't been any shortage of athletic tens. There's been athletic tens.
Yeah.
But I think we can agree that the overall quality of every performer, not just the women right now, is extremely high.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I'm wondering if... I mean, this is just total speculation, but I wonder if since... the Attitude Era, they can't quite, they can't quite go as far with their promos and all that, so maybe they have to work a little more on their in-ring ability.
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's also the fact that during the Attitude Era, it was only a 2-hour show.
Oh, yeah.
At that 2-hour show, like, you remember watching the 2-hour version of Raw.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it seemed like it had a lot less commercials.
Yeah, it did.
Maybe it's just me being waxing nostalgic, I don't know. But I think you're right, definitely. The focus is more on the in-ring presentation now, and the quality of the actual work is tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading earlier today about things like why doesn't Adam Rose get more time on TV, for example? And I think the simple answer is the competition's just never been higher. He has to work extremely hard. And everybody, I think you can agree, everybody who's currently on television for WWE is, I think, better than Adam Rose. And that's no slight on him, it's just, it's not that he's bad, it's just that everybody in the product right now is extremely good for the most part.
Yeah, I'd say so. And it's a welcome change.
Absolutely. So I think, can we agree that the single most talented man in WWE is Cesaro?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Who's the most talented woman?
Most talented woman?
Well, maybe not just talented, just best overall woman wrestler in WWE.
It's probably between, like, Sasha Banks, Charlotte.
I would say Sasha's even better wrestler than Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte's perhaps a better athlete, but I think Sasha's in-ring work is a little bit better. Personally, I enjoy it more.
I'd agree with that.
And we're well set for superstars for the time being, and we have no doubt that the quality of the workers is really good. But now the qualities of the actual program have seemed to improve as well. Ever since we had the Legends episode a few weeks ago, not last week but the week before, these past two Raws have, to me, they've seen like like we're setting a new standard now.
Yeah, they really do feel like that. And I don't know, it's just nice that they seem to be getting better and better every week, but it's probably because a lot of their talent tries really hard.
They do. And I think these past 2 weeks is in large part due to the fact that they haven't relied on any of the mastodons.
Yeah.
No mastodons.
No, there have been none seen for a good couple weeks now.
Nah.
Maybe a few.
And I think we can even sort of clump Randy and John in with the mastodons.
Yeah, I think so.
Junior mastodons.
Junior mastodons.
When we say mastodon, we mean relics from the past eras of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we say mastodons, because they're prehistoric. So, just quickly going back to SmackDown last week, and the SmackDown show, pretty much as long as I've been watching it for the last month and a half or so, every week's been great. Never been a bad use of my time.
No.
What was your single biggest takeaway from last week's SmackDown? What was the highlight?
The highlight of last week's SmackDown?
I'll say mine right off the top. It was Miz getting super kicked over in the pumpkin.
Yeah, I gotta say that was pretty good. It almost reminded me of when Dean did the dirty deeds with Cesaro having the pumpkin on his head.
Did that happen last year?
Yeah.
Really?
Or it was last year, or maybe the year before.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It reminded me of that, and I was like, yes, they did it again.
So what was your favorite moment then from this year's?
My favorite moment, I'd probably have to say... Yeah, I think I would agree with you that it was the Miz and Dolph street fight match.
Bo Dallas as a ghost was pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
Boo Dallas.
Boo Dallas got laid out by Mark Henry.
Yeah. That was the only appearance of the Mastodon, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely no other relic.
Just a casual punch.
Just a casual little punch. Absolutely. That was exactly what it was. Daniel Bryan has made it no secret in the past that if he had it his way, he would go back to having a brand split where we have a clearly defined roster of Raw and SmackDown superstars. And then SmackDown would have its own top-tier star, and that top-tier star would be the representative, and that's who people would come to expect every week. And to me, it seems like Dean Ambrose is becoming that guy on SmackDown.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we've seen just a lot more appearances from him, and he's been in sort of like... He just seems like he's in more of a commanding role, like, with the team that he put together on Halloween and things like that. Or the Halloween SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, no, you're right about that. And obviously, Dean has no problem with connecting with the audience.
No, none at all.
Now that Roman is the number one contender, do you think Dean will be the next one to get another run at the title? We saw that very brief run he had back in the spring, but it was very, very fleeting.
I could either see that happening or possibly KO in the future having a title run.
He was promised one last night on television.
He was.
Well, you know what Seth's promises are worth.
Yeah, you're right.
Kevin getting promised anything by Seth is like the two most like dishonest, mean people trying to work out friendly deals.
I'm surprised that they actually lasted that long together in the match, though.
They didn't even fall apart at all.
Yeah, I figured something like that would have happened. I didn't expect Kevin Owens to hang on for that long.
That's a good point, because usually Kevin kind of just waltzes off when things get tough, but he didn't.
No.
Just skipping ahead a little bit, but Kevin hits Dean, I think, with a cross kick, and then Dean no-sells it and immediately hits him with dirty deeds for the win. Great job. But other than that, I thought the booking last night, for the most part, made a lot of sense. Becky Lynch did have to take someone's finish again, but this time she got to do some stuff. She got a couple suplexes in. But we're skipping ahead. Is there anything else you want to really touch on from the SmackDown taping last week?
From the SmackDown tape? No, I don't think so. I think we've covered just about everything. I mean, other than the just the match between Cesaro, Ryback, and Dean Ambrose against Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Great way to usher in Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
With those dudes wearing masks. And Cesaro was dressed as himself.
Yes.
I feel like I should be dressing up as Cesaro next year.
Looking suave.
Very suave. Very European. Yeah, that is pretty much it from SmackDown. From the NXT show last week, we talked about Nia's improved costume. The main event from last week was Tyler Breeze versus Samoa Joe in the match that we were promised a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that match was more or less exactly what I expected.
Yeah, same here, because I figured, I don't really see Tyler Breeze necessarily winning because he's got, things to do in SmackDown now.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that just having these matches with Joe is pretty much going to be the last we're going to see of him in NXT. He's going to be moving on to being the main roster fixture, and best of luck to him. So yeah, Tyler losing, but what I really wanted to talk about, let's really get into the discussion about this stellar match between Gable and Jordan and Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
Absolutely.
Stellar match. I think it goes without saying that Ciampa and Gargano are here to stay.
Yeah, and they did the match really well.
They did. There are a couple of experienced independent guys who took Gable and Jordan through that match with the resolution and leadership of veterans. And Gable and Jordan, they don't lack, athleticism or excellent training. They just lack experience. Mm-hmm. And Gargano and Ciampa did the absolute best to make them look fantastic. And both guys just looked phenomenal. They were as over as I've ever seen anyone in a Full Sail arena.
The Kurt Angle chant for Jason Jordan.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Kurt Angle has got a lot of this. Mm-hmm. Looking at these two guys and thinking, yeah, that make me proud, boys. And we'll be seeing both those guys in the WWE main roster before long. I think it's safe to say this past year the tag team title has been elevated pretty good.
I'd say so for sure. We can just think back maybe 6 months ago or something. It wasn't even that impressive, but now it's really stepped it up a notch.
Absolutely. I think now where we are now with the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic having been all said and done, I think part of the reason why New Day laid out John Cena and Dolph Ziggler a few weeks ago now, was to show just how strong they are as a team and to also increase the prestige of the tag team titles. So now, any team that defeats them for the titles, they've got to be extremely strong.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, the only team in WWE that can do it is the Wyatt family, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so too right now. Just because anything else, they're just going to use their numbers to their advantage.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. So yeah, getting back to Raw's programming last night, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Divas match. What were your takeaways?
Well, my takeaways were that I was really happy to see Becky Lynch finally doing something,
mm-hmm.
and overall it was a great match from
Yes,
all four divas. There was that one spot on the ropes with Becky Lynch. Didn't she pretty much powerbomb all three?
Yeah. The super duperplex. That was fantastic.
Super duper.
I guess that's what you call that.
Yeah.
It's a fun spot. Fantastic. And I don't think either of us were surprised that Paige went over.
No.
She was being built up these past 2 weeks to go over, but who do you think is going to be the next top woman after Paige? Is it going to be Sasha or Becky? Because Brie is just in there, she's along for the ride now. She's already, I think Brie's kind of winding her time down in WWE, it seems to me.
Mm-hmm. Because,
as I understand it, Nikki is an injury, and we won't be seeing her on television anytime soon.
Well, I'm not against that necessarily, because there's plenty of other fresh talent that would need to see more of.
Absolutely. So, who do you think it'll be? Will it be Sasha or will it be Becky? Your prediction for the next top woman after Paige?
Honestly, probably Sasha. I wish it would be Becky, but I have a feeling that it's going to be Sasha.
I think you're right. I think for whatever reason, the Sasha character just connects with the audience a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
For now. Although Becky with the new costume did look really good last night.
She did, definitely. I think they did a really good job on, changing the outfit. And in general, she looked really, really strong last night.
That's because she is really, really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. She looked phenomenal, no question about it. Speaking of someone who looks phenom, but we don't necessarily get to see in action very often, is Stardust.
He's kind of just been stalking Cesaro.
Yeah, he's just been more or less window dressing these past few weeks, just kind of appearing for 5 or so seconds in the background during a Cesaro match.
With his Ascension goons.
He really, really owns that villain persona. There's no reason why he can't be WWE's top heel in the future.
No, I don't see why not.
What does Stardust need to do to become the top heel of WWE?
Well, I mean, first off, he needs to have more matches, but...
He needs to win more matches.
Yeah. Win more matches by doing dirty things, possibly.
Yes. Having his goons interfere one way or the other.
Yeah.
My prediction, Biggie, is that Stardust is not going to be doing anything particularly interesting until after Christmas. He's in a holding pattern, seems to me.
I could see that. I wonder what he is going to do after everything, after he's, chosen his prey. Are we going to have another feud? With Stardust and someone?
My theory is that Stardust is maybe not choosing, because what do you think? Do you think he's choosing to be watching Cesaro's matches like this? Because that's my thinking. I don't think creative is telling him to act like this. I think he chose to do this.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I think he's basically taking the bull by the horns, and he's basically saying, without using the words, that he wants to be pitted against Cesaro. And I think that's because Stardust just believes that Cesaro is going to become someone exciting and worth feuding with in the future. I guess he's just banking on the fact that Cesaro, through his incredible wrestling acumen and experience, is going to be holding a title or something of prestige in the near future. And that won't warrant his intention.
I wonder if they'll try to do some sort of comic book type thing again, because Cesaro's the Swiss Superman.
That's an excellent point. Maybe, okay, I think you just explained it for me. That's all I need to hear.
It's done.
Done. Moving on. So speaking of Cesaro, he actually won a match last night.
Yeah, and that was really great. He won against The Miz, right?
Yes, in a really good match. When's the last time we saw Cesaro win on television? I think he beat Mark Henry some time ago, didn't he?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think I remember seeing him win for a while. Since before Big Show was being built up.
Yeah, so quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we can't name it, he's not much of a Superman who doesn't win every week. So hopefully this is the first win of a bunch of wins in a row.
Hopefully. What I figured right now is, like, maybe they just don't necessarily have anyone that warrants feeding Cesaro to, so they're just going to make him look a little stronger, perhaps.
Maybe. Maybe he'll be wrestling against Truth next week and beating him. Because Truth seems to be making the loop of superstars that need to be put over and made look strong. Because this week he was making the numero uno MexAmerican, Alberto El Patron, look mucho, not grosso would be fat. How do you say strong in Spanish? Forte? I'm going to assume it's forte. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. Anyway, yeah, I'm not MexAmerican. Alberto was stomping Truth. Looking strong as usual with his kicks and his athletic ring skills. Nothing really to talk about here, because I believe he did the exact same thing last week on SmackDown, didn't he?
There was the sort of return of Jack Swagger.
Oh, yes. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, you're right. It was a sort of return. He appeared for one backstage segment, and then what did Alberto call him, Little Jackie?
Yeah, something like that.
It's like, it's okay, Little Jackie. Junior was from ringside, while Alberto El Patron, Viva del Rio. Or so, sorry, why am I calling him Alberto El Patron? That's the Lucha Underground name. Alberto del Rio. Shows you how it's done. Was I calling him El Patron all along?
Yeah, I think so.
Alberto would not mind at all. Vince probably really mind. I'm sorry, Vince.
Sorry, Vince.
I wasn't thinking. I'll be more diligent. Something that wasn't on anybody's mind, surprisingly enough, last night was Rusev. He's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why that is.
Just a night off for the big guy, you think?
Could be.
Okay.
I mean, I guess he's, like, other than him being part of the Foreign Heels, which they were going up against the Lucha Dragons and kind of putting them over, so they didn't really need Rusev. Maybe, yeah, he was just taking a night off.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they put the Lucha Dragons over. Earlier today, I was listening to Jim Ross from his podcast last week, where he was talking about how Alberto has been brought in because WWE needs a top-tier, bankable, believable, legitimate Latin American star for the Latin American market. And now that he's back and he's doing all those things, like he always does, Jim was talking about how, if not him, it could have potentially been Kalisto. Because Kalisto can sort of step into that Rey Mysterio type of role.
Yeah.
Being that masked luchador.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we both like Lucha Dragons and Kalisto, do you see Kalisto becoming like a top draw?
I mean, not right now, but that's probably just because of everything we've seen of the Lucha Dragons so far. But I feel like Kalisto has a lot of potential to be really good.
Tons. He's very, very talented.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pretty much the same size as Rey Mysterio, so I think all he needs to do is just stick with it. He'll get there. And Rey didn't come up as a tag team wrestler, he came up as a singles. So maybe once Sin Cara moves on to something else, maybe that'll be Kalisto's time.
Hopefully.
Partway through the night, Warren's mentioning that last night's main event was a traditional Survivor Series tag team elimination match, which would pit Team Rollins against Team Reigns. And over the course of the night, we saw Seth in the back talking to his various coworkers about getting them into matches with him. And the first person he talked to was KO. And Kev was in a match earlier in the night with Dolph, which is about as bad as I've seen Dolph look in a while.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. He just got beat on by KO and then beat on by Tyler Breeze right after.
Canadian beatdowns all evening for Dolph. And all that happened was that basically Tyler Breeze kind of like waved his selfie stick in his face, and he just pretty much just lost it. Instant pop-up powerbomb.
Mm-hmm.
Dolph looking bad. Yeah, like Dolph he goes from being in that fatal four-way from number one contender last week to looking really, really weak.
It's too bad that he's not so good right now.
Basically. So after we saw Seth recruit Kevin, Seth was approached once again in the back by his bold buddies, the New Day.
The New Day!
And through the power of positivity and from keeping their unicorn horns up, New Day were rejoined by their brother, Xavier Woods, PhD. And Woods was in fine form as usual. His trombone was fixed, and he was playing the Final Fantasy theme, and he was feeling cocky and full of energy. And when it came time to perform later in the night, not so much. Choked City. Shall we go right into the main event?
Might as well.
I think it's pretty much time. So what happened in the main event, first of all, was... and by the way, it was the three members of New Day, Kevin and Seth, versus Team Roman Reigns. And Team Roman Reigns was not talked about over the course of the night. No. They were just shown. That's it. Mm-hmm. At the end of the night. So the match starts, and it's Woods, and he's facing off against, and Roman's team was himself, Dean, his cousins, Jimmy and Jey Uso, and the fifth person was... Who's the fifth person?
Ryback?
It was Ryback, yeah. Thank you. He didn't last very long, did he, Ryback?
No, he and Big E kind of went up against each other, and they both...
Didn't E eliminate him?
Yeah, I think E might have eliminated him, and then E got eliminated right after.
Yes.
I know both of the big guys went down at the same time.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. After they got their big strongman spots in.
Yeah.
So Xavier Woods got eliminated really quickly. Both of the Usos looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
I feel like you could tell that they were hungry to get back in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Very hungry. And they were actually really over.
Yeah, they were, and they performed really well on top of that.
They did. The Denver audience last night was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
They were almost as fun as... Like we've now had two good crowds in a row. This is amazing.
It is.
They're gonna go to Philadelphia next week and we're a bunch of Rain sucks chance. Actually, I have no idea where they're going next week. I feel like every time I feel like there's good crowds, they always go somewhere like that, where the crowds are just terrible.
Yeah.
But
let's pray.
Vince, send them somewhere where the people are nice. No, I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, send them wherever the people give a legitimate, real reaction. Because if the people in the audience are just being idiots for the sake of being idiots, that's no fun. But if they're actually giving constructive criticism, then I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So, after Woods got eliminated, and Ryback got eliminated, and E got eliminated, we were down to Roman and Dean versus Seth and Kevin. Am I forgetting anybody? Oh, and Jay and Jimmy and Jay and Jay Uso got eliminated.
Jay and Jay Usos.
Yeah, that's what they are. It's totally fine to call them that. Besides, Jay and Jay Security weren't bad. They were awesome.
Yeah, they were. They pinned Seth.
They pinned the World Heavyweight Champion.
And I don't even think it was very dirty either.
No, it was not dirty at all.
No.
It just happened to be a handicap match.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Congratulations, 2 men defeated 1 man. So, in the final showdown, which was Dean and Roman versus Seth and Kevin, that right there, that's your company's 4 top stars.
Mm-hmm.
Undeniable. Your 2 top heels and your 2 top baby faces. And that was fantastic. Seth and Kevin, I can watch them 7 nights a week. They're just phenomenal. They're my favorite wrestlers in the world right now, both of them. And together, one of my favorite moments on Raw this year so far has to be when Kevin and Dean are trying to Kevin and Seth are trying to kill Dean. They're trying to kill him. And Seth was saying, "Why won't you die, Dean?" And Dean just refusing to give up. And Kevin was holding it from behind, and he's like, "Bring him closer." And I watched the replay today. You know that there's that part where Kevin was holding Dean from behind, and Seth's like, "Bring him closer." And he's like, "He's a second wheel, you're a third wheel." Remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
No, I missed that.
Oh, okay. He's like, "Bring him closer, you're the second wheel, he's the second wheel, you're the third wheel." And while he was doing it, Kevin's like, "Hurry! Do something!" I didn't hear it the first time through, but he was like pleading with Seth to do something. He actually says, "Do something!" And of course, that's when Dean breaks free, because Seth is too busy going like this.
And then Owens takes the knee right to the face.
Oh, that was such a cool spot, because they did it to him once where Kevin holds him, and then Seth hits him with a tiger knee, and then they set it up for it again, and then Kevin got hit with it. And the finish was, it was so cool. Like I was telling you about, Dean just walking away from one of Kevin's kicks, someone who apparently kicks really hard, just walks away from it, hits him with his finish, 1, 2, 3, and then Roman Reigns comes in for the big baby face. Whoa, flip the hair back. Ooh, ooh. Roman's so great.
And then, after the match, Seth beat both of them with a chair and said, "Does this look familiar?"
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Vince is going back to the classic Raw ending, where the end of Raw is actually really funny and cool.
Mm-hmm. I really like
the way he's so shrill about it. Thank you for reminding me about that. That was awesome.
I really like. I don't know if you remember back when Seth originally betrayed the Shield. When he's about to hit them with a chair, you hear a fan screaming, "No!"
Really?
In the audience, really loud. Yeah. Like he sees it happening. He's like, "No!"
I've been very open and honest about the fact that I started watching it after the Shield broke up. I can't even imagine how that must have felt to be so behind these guys and then for that to happen.
That would be. I don't even know how I'd feel about that either. That'd be like Luke Harper just totally tearing down the Wyatts or something.
We wouldn't say no. We would just be scratching our heads.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Because there's Seth's the architect. The only person who could destroy the Wyatt family would be Bray, because he's that architect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which takes us to...
Is he going to eat all their souls too? Will his soul hunger become too great?
I don't know. But the last thing we're going to talk about was, before we go to the rapid fire, the last thing we're going to talk about is the fact that a program made by grown adults, watched by grown adults, contained about 10 minutes about a grown man talking about how he stole 2 other grown men's souls. And we loved every minute of it.
Yeah. It was a great time.
Bray looking so fierce that I couldn't even believe it. He looked unbelievably fierce. Like, nobody stopped him. Nobody looked like they even could stop him. He looked like a force of nature.
I wonder who will stop them eventually. Like, I don't know if there's any sort of team that exists right now that would be able to stop them unless they just threw an amalgamation of superstars together with a lot of strength. But they already tried that on SmackDown, and that didn't work out too well.
No, I think there's only one man who can save Undertaker and Kane. There's only one man, and whether he will do it or not, I don't know. But Survivor Series is coming, and the Wyatt family has resolutely laid claim to the souls of the dead man and the demon. So what happens next? Only time will tell. But I'm really looking forward to Raw next week.
Me too.
Survivor Series can't come fast enough because this world title match. Okay, let's go to the rapid fire, Biggie. Question number 1: is Roman going to become the new world champion?
Yeah, I feel like it's.
This is it.
Well, I mean, it just seems like he's been, being made pretty strong. He won the number 1 contender, so I could see it happening, but I know a lot of people wouldn't be very happy about that.
I wouldn't be upset. If this happened 4 months ago, then, back around the time of Money in the Bank, then I wouldn't be upset, yeah.
It'll be weird seeing Seth titleless, though.
See, that's the thing. I'm not even sure if I'm ready for that right now.
Yeah, I know. We need him to hold it a little longer.
A little bit longer. And honestly, actually, you know what I just realized would be awesome? Roman can win. As long as Sheamus cashes in.
Oh my god, so Roman will get denied twice.
But he'll get to hold it for a little while.
Oh,
just a little while. It's like...
So you'll get to hold the belt and celebrate, and then Sheamus will
It's a shameful thing, and you roster here, and you're going walking down. He wears his coward as well. And he's going to ride it straight to hell. I can't believe I'm actually putting Sheamus over right now.
I know. But with Barrett, he's actually been looking pretty decent.
Yeah.
I hope that, that sort of skill and everything carries over to when he's by himself again. Because he's been very entertaining to watch, but when he was by himself, I can't really say he was quite as entertaining.
No, but it's always worth it, honestly, to tune in and watch him just potato dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we watched Kalisto get so potatoed so many times this week, it was, I felt a little bit concerned for the young man.
Mm-hmm.
But then I remember that he gets paid millions of dollars to play dress up and roll around with dudes.
Making moves.
$1 million. Question number 2. When are we ever see PTP again?
I have no idea. I can only assume that, maybe Titus O'Neil just took off time to maybe spend with his family, but I feel like there might... they could definitely put them in maybe I was going to say maybe a feud with the Dudleys, but I guess they're after the titles and New Day.
At the end of the day, if Titus goes home and if Titus goes home and spends more time with his family, nobody loses.
No, nobody.
Okay, well, maybe Darren Young.
Maybe, but I mean, I'm sure he could use.
He can make $1 million moves with somebody else. Maybe with Curtis Axel. I love how that smile on his face, no.
No.
Curtis Axel can't have a good tag team partner.
Maybe he'll be with Heath Slater.
You know what? We laugh, but he probably is doing the house show loop right now with Heath Slater. Probably. I like to think that he is. He's got to do it with somebody. He might be the 0-man band, but he's going to tag with somebody. Right?
Maybe.
Heath and Curtis are tagging against Fandango and Adam Rose right now in the house show loop.
Really?
Can you believe it?
That's as low tier as it gets.
No, they're not actually. I just made that up, but it's
okay.
It's very believable.
Yeah.
They're not actually working singles matches against each other. I know, we laugh and we make jokes, but they're all WWE superstars.
Oh, I heard is just a theory, but I heard that since we haven't seen the Los Matadors for a while, that someone was speculating that they might try to bring them back, like, rebranded in a way later on.
With the big brother, Carlito?
Maybe. That'd be pretty cool.
The Cool Bros.
Cool Bros.
All three of us put in the face of people who don't want to be cool and they all just eat apples.
Yeah. Could we have the Cool Bros against the Hype Bros eventually? Just the silliest feud.
The Cool Bros don't like the Hype Bros because they're just too hype, and the Hype Bros don't like the Cool Bros because they're not hype enough.
Yeah, they're too cool.
Vince is gonna do it.
One day.
Yeah, one day. He just needs to get Carlito. He got Alberto back. He's gonna get Carlito back. Hype Bros was Cool Bros for WrestleMania 2020. Question number 3 in Rapid Fire. Next week on NXT, we're gonna be seeing what I promise is gonna be a fantastic match, a marquee match, a match that could easily become one of the matches of the year. It's going to be Apollo Crews having his very first ever title shot in a WWE ring against the Demon. The face paint will be on, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And if it isn't on, well, I guess the question is Apollo going to win?
I mean, I could see it happening, but I could also not. I mean, maybe if he does win, there is the possibility of maybe Finn Balor going up to the main roster.
Right, so he can go save the bros.
Yeah. But, I mean, I could also see him holding on to the title maybe a little longer. But I don't know, because Apollo Crews seems to be pretty over right now.
He is. And deservedly so, because he's phenomenal talent.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, I could easily see that, yeah. I don't think he's going to win his very first ever try, because Finn himself didn't the first time he challenged for the NXT title. And they're, I think, comparable level kayfabe strength. Mm-hmm. So I think Finn has got to have one successful title defense first. But then I think at the maybe like the next takeover special when he has his rematch or whatever, then maybe.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Final question of the rapid fire round is the new Condemned film with Randy is the new Randy Orton film going to be good? Do you think? I
mean it could be, like. It's not actually a WWE film.
No, it is.
Oh, it is? Yeah. Well, yeah, I could see it being good. Like, that movie that just came out with Dean was pretty decent.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't, incredible, but it was pretty good.
It's better than Silent Hill Revelations 3D, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Way, way better. At least 3 times better.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think that's pretty much all the time we have this week, don't we, bud?
Yep.
Okay, we got things to do, so we're going to have to roll out of here, but we'll catch you there. See you next week.